Hi children, good morning. Hope all are doing good. And in my last session, I completed the first chapter. Then use this is actually the PDF which I have taken class for you children. It's a new PDF only, new format. Some portions have deleted. I don't know about your books, what you got from the school. As per this new PDF, some portions have deleted. Like that only oviparous, viviparous, ovoviviparous also not available in this new PDF format. So might be it is a deleted portion, I think so. So anyhow, I'll say about the oviparous, viviparous and ovoviviparous in short. What does it mean by oviparous? The animals which lay eggs are called oviparous. Okay, the animals which lay egg are called oviparous animals. The egg is fertilized in the before the eggs lay outside. Inside the body of the female itself, the eggs are fertilized. So the fertilized eggs are coming out from the female's body. In the outside environment, it catch into a chicks. Okay, so and this is called what? Oviparous. Okay, but what is viviparous? It is nothing but the animals which give birth to young one and give feeding. Okay, those animals are called viviparous animals. And this viviparous in viviparous animal, the young ones are retained inside the sac called uterus, and placenta supply the nutrient, oxygen, all those things which are necessary for the developing fetus. Okay, and the fully developed young one is coming out through the vaginal cavity of the female. Okay, and this is called what? Viviparous. And in some animals, ovoviviparous. So ovoviviparous, what is ovoviviparous? Like eggs, like yeah, oviparous, in the egg the young ones are catching. Like viviparous, it is retained inside the body of the female. So since it possesses both the character, it is considered as a ovoviviparous animals. That's all children about this oviparous, viviparous and ovoviviparous, and example is given also for each. Please see to that and go through that, and further if you have any clarification regarding that, please text me in person. I will clarify it children. Next I am going to enter chapter 2, that is human reproduction. Okay children, so in this lesson we are going to discuss many thing in elaborate way. So especially how the reproduction taken place in human only we are going to see here. That's what human reproduction, not in general sexual reproduction, it is especially human reproduction. So human reproductive system, first we are going to see about a male reproductive system and female reproductive system, and gametogenesis, that is called the formation of sperm and ovum, that is spermatogenesis, oogenesis, and how fertilization takes place, how development takes place. All those things we are going to see in elaborate way. Okay, every organ system in the human body works continuously to maintain homeostasis for the survival of the individual. The human reproductive system is essential for the survival of the species. So, an individual may live a long, healthy life without produce an offspring, but reproduction is inevitable for the existence of a life. See, one thing I should ask with you children. See, all the system is essential for our body, and all the systems should function properly in our body. Then only we will be in good, healthy condition, right? So, that is called what? Homeostasis. In our body we are having many systems like respiratory, digestive, circulatory, excretory, endocrine, nervous system, like that many systems are there in our body. See, all the systems are perform their own function simultaneously without any disturbance. When it's going on in such a way, our body is in good condition, and this is called homeostatic condition. So here is my question about reproductive system. See whether we are not bothering about reproductive system, whether reproductive system is functioning properly or not, no problem, because the function of reproductive system is producing the sex cells only. So whether it is producing sex cell or not, no problem, then why we should say that reproductive system is essential? It is the my question. Okay, so you know children, through the reproductive system the gametes are fused, then the gametes are produced. The gamete produced by the reproductive system of male and female fuse together form zygote. Zygote develop into young one, you know very well, isn't it? So through reproductive system only the young ones are produced. Through reproductive system only the young ones are produced. If there is no reproductive system at all, what happened? There won't be any young ones or progenies or offsprings produced further in subsequent generation. So what will be the result? The species will be extinct very soon from the earth. That's what every organism produce their own offspring to perpetuate their species on the earth. That's what reproductive system is very very essential in that way. Okay, so the reproductive system has four main functions. To Marcos in what are the functions of reproductive system? That is to produce the gametes, namely sperms and ova, first one, and next one to transport and sustain these gametes. Okay, these gametes. Okay, so to transport and sustain these gametes. Okay, male reproductive system produce male gametes, female reproductive system produce female gametes. So then what happened? The gametes produced are transport to their respective place. Okay, that's what second function. To transport and sustain these gametes. Next, nurture the developing offsprings. Okay, reproductive system inside the body, the young ones are developing. So the young one developed should be nurtured, that is giving nourishment. This nourishment also given by the reproductive system, and also produce hormones, that is hormones which are essential for reproductive function. Then male reproductive system produce male sex hormone testosterone, female reproductive system produce female sex hormone called estrogen and progesterone. Right children? Then this is the function, these are the functions of reproductive system. And next, the major reproductive events in human beings are as follows. Okay, what are the major reproductive events in human beings? Okay, so the major events, what are the major events in human reproductive system have taken place? First one, for reproduction, gametes are essential. There is no gametes, there is no fertilization. There is no fertilization, there is no young one production. So the first process is gametogenesis, that is production of gametes. What are gametes? The male gamete is sperm produced by the testis, and the female gamete is the ovum produced by the ovary. That the process of production of gametes is called gametogenesis. Okay, the formation of gametes by spermatogenesis and oogenesis, that is through spermatogenesis sperms produced in the testis, through oogenesis ovum produced in the ovary. And then insemination. What is mean by insemination? Yes, you know very well. For fertilization, if fertilization taken place only, young ones are produced, but the male gamete are present in the male parent, female gametes are present in the female parent. So the male gamete should penetrate the female gamete and fuse this nucleus with the female nucleus. Okay, then only it form a zygote, then zygote undergoes subsequent development, right? So what happened here? Next process is insemination, that is transfer of sperm by the male into the female genital tract. Third one is fertilization. So once the insemination taken place, next is further step has taken place, that is called what? Fertilization. So once the sperm enter into the female genital tract, it travel, that is a vagina. From the vagina it enter into the uterus. From the uterus it reach the fallopian tube. In the fallopian tube the egg is present. If the egg is present in the fallopian tube, the sperm fertilize the egg. The sperm fertilize the egg, and this process is called fertilization. Next, okay, once the sperm fuse with the, once the sperm fuse with the egg, and it form a single celled stage called zygote. The zygote undergo development. The zygote undergo development. That is how it undergo further development by a process called cleavage. What is mean by cleavage? See, the zygote, which is formed by the process of fertilization, undergo division. That is, a zygote is a single cell, and which undergoes cell division. The one cell into 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 8, 8 to 16, like that it undergo cell division, and this process is called what? Cleavage. See, a rabbit mitotic division. See, you should remember that, children, during development of zygote, the type of cell division is involved in this is mitosis cell division, not meiosis cell division, right? Mitosis cell division. So the cleavage, the zygote undergo mitotic cell division, which is converted into a single celled zygote into a multicellular structure called blastocyst. Next one is implantation. What is implantation? See, once the zygote undergo cleavage, and it form a many cell structure called morula, and morula undergo another stage called blastula, and blastula undergo gastrula stage, and gastrula consists of 3 layers: ectoderm, endoderm, mesoderm, in such like that. So like that subsequent development has taken place. Okay, so what is mean by implantation? So that the blastocyst, isn't it? The zygote undergo cleavage and form a multicellular blastocyst. Now the blastocyst attached in the walls of placenta, walls of uterus, and this is called what? Implantation. Attachment of blastocyst to the uterine wall is called implantation. Next one is placentation. So you know very well, the young one, which is the fetus which is developed inside the uterus, is supplied with a connective tissue called placenta. Then placenta, and the placenta connect to the fetus by umbilical cord. So the development of placenta, which help for the nourishment of fetus, is called what? Placentation. See, formation of placenta, which is the intimate connection between the fetus and the uterine wall of the mother for exchange of nutrient, not only nutrient, for supplying oxygen, then removing the waste product and taken away the carbon dioxide, all through this one. The next one is gastrulation. So once the blastocyst attached to the wall of the uterus, and it undergo further divisions and form a 3-layered structure called gastrula, and the formation of this process is called gastrulation. See, what is gastrulation given in our text? Process by which blastocyst changed into a gastrula with 3 primary germ layers, and this is called what? Gastrulation. Next one is organogenesis. Organogenesis is nothing but formation of specific tissues, organs and organ system from the 3 germ layers, isn't it? Gastrula. See, you know very well what is gastrula. Gastrula is a 3-layered structure made up of ectoderm. What are the three layers? Ectoderm, endoderm and mesoderm. The cells present in these three layers are differentiate into their respective tissues and organs. Say for example, the skin, muscles, bones are developed from the or differentiated from the ectoderm of the gastrula. Same way, then digestive tract and other some parts of the internal organs developed from the endoderm, and then the coelom all developed from the mesoderm. Like that, in our whole body is formed from the whole organs of our body, and the whole structure of an organism is formed from the three germ layers, and this is called what? Gastrulation, organogenesis. And parturition is nothing but once the complete organs are developed from the three germ layers, that the fetus developed and increased in its size and weight, and once it attained the full maturation, the fetus comes out of the mother's womb. That is called what? Parturition. Okay, this is what various stages of sexual reproduction. That is a 5-mark question, children. Please note it. And next one is, these functions are carried out by the primary and second accessory reproductive organs. The above functions, what are the above functions? Gametogenesis, insemination, fertilization, implantation, placentation, gastrulation, organogenesis, parturition. All are the important functions. These important functions are carried out by a primary and accessory sex organs of the reproductive system. What are the primary and accessory sex organs? Let's see. The primary reproductive organs, namely ovary and testis, are responsible for producing the ova and sperms respectively. Okay, so what are the primary sex organs? In male, testis is the primary sex organ. In female, ovary is the primary sex organ. Testis produce sperm and ovary produce ova. And right. And next, what is the thing given here is hormone secreted by the pituitary gland and gonads help in the development of the secondary sexual characteristics, maturation of the reproductive system, regulation of normal functioning of the reproductive system. The accessory organ help in transport and to sustain the gametes and to nurture the developing offspring. Next one is what? Okay. So, you know very well, endocrine system, we studied, last year 11th standard, we studied about endocrine system, the various hormone, endocrine glands and their secretions, their functions, all I discussed with you in standard 11, okay. So, you know about pituitary gland. Pituitary gland secretes some gonadotrophic hormone and which regulate the gonads. What are gonads? Testis and ovaries are called gonads, and this gonads also secrete some sex hormones. Okay, so both the gonadotrophic hormone from pituitary and the hormones, sex hormones produced by the testis and ovary help for the development of secondary sexual character, maturation of reproductive system, regulation of normal functioning of the reproductive system. And what about primary sex organ which help for the production of gametes. What about accessory sex organs? The functions of accessory sex organs is to transport the gametes or to sustain and nurture the developing offspring. These are the functions of secondary sexual characters. Okay. So, let's come for this all introduction I discussed with you. Now I am going to discuss with you about human reproductive system. I am going to discuss with you about a male reproductive system alone now. The male reproductive system is comprises of testis, accessory ducts, glands, and external genitalia. These are the reproductive system of organs comprises of male reproductive system. Then there are the primary male sex organ. You know very well the primary male sex organs are testes only, and they are a pair of ovoid bodies lying in the where it is located. They are located in the scrotum, not in the abdominal cavity. Children, note it. The primary sex organ, that is testes, are located in the scrotum. Scrotum is placed outside the abdomen. Okay, why it is placed outside the abdomen? Because for the effective production of sperm, the temperature is optimum. That the body temperature is higher than the optimum temperature of sperm production. That's what the testes are produced placed in the scrotum for the effective production of sperm. Okay, so the scrotum, what is scrotum? This is a 2-mark question, children. What is scrotum? Why testes are placed in the scrotum? Give reason. It is a book bag question also. So the scrotum is a sac of skin that hangs outside the abdominal cavity. Since viable sperms cannot be produced at a normal body temperature, the scrotum is placed outside the abdominal cavity to provide a temperature 2 to 3 degrees Celsius lower than the normal internal body temperature. Thus, the scrotum acts as a thermoregulator for spermatogenesis. Okay, children. So you could understand about it. I think so. Why another way of question also you can have, that is why scrotum act as a thermoregulator. Is this statement is true? If true, discuss it. Okay, same answer only. Okay, next. Each testis is covered by an outer fibrous tunica. Each testis is covered by an outer tunica and is divided by a septa into about 200 to 250 lobules, and each lobules containing 2 to 4 highly coiled testicular tubules or seminiferous tubules. These highly convolute tubules, which form 80% of the testicular substance, are the sites for sperm production. Okay, what is this is a general structure of what testis. Okay, children. See, each testis is covered by a outermost fibrous tunica albuginea. So that is, testis is covered by a membrane. The membrane is called tunica albuginea, and it is divided. Each testis is divided into compartments. How many? By a septa. Septa means like a wall, nothing but like a wall. In each testis there are many septa which divide the testis into 200 to 250 compartments, and those compartments are called as lobules. Okay, so in each testis there should be a 200 to 250 compartments are there. These compartments are called lobules. And next, what does the lobules consist of? The lobules consist of 2 to 4. How many numbers, children? Please, the numbers all very essential. You could have as a 1-mark question also. Okay, in each lobules there should be a 2 to 4 highly coiled tubules, and the name of the tubule is what? Seminiferous tubules. Okay, and the 80% of effective production of sperm is taken place in the testis only. The highly convolute tubules, which form 80% of the testicular substance, are the site for production of sperm. Purida, which is the site of sperm production? Seminiferous tubule, children. That you should be keep in your mind. Okay, that is testis divided into lobules. In the lobules, highly coiled tubules, 2 to 4 highly coiled tubules, that is called seminiferous tubule. Inside the seminiferous tubules only the sperm production have taken place. So which is the part of sperm production? Seminiferous tubules only. Okay, next. The striated epithelium of seminiferous tubule is made up of 2 types of cells, namely Sertoli cells or nurse cells and spermatogonic cells or male germ cells. So the seminiferous tubules are made up of striated epithelium. So this the striated epithelium of seminiferous tubule is made up of two types of cell. So the striated epithelium of seminiferous tubules made up of two types of cells. What are the two types of cell? One is Sertoli cell or nurse cells. Another one is spermatogonic cells or male germ cells. These are the two cells which are present in the walls of seminiferous tubules. Then next, what are the functions of those cells? What are the functions of Sertoli cells? What are the functions of male germ cell? Let's see. Sertoli cells are elongated and pyramidal and provide nourishment to the sperm till maturation. Yes, right, children? Sperm production are taken place in the where? Seminiferous tubules only. So till the maturation, the the sperms are stayed in the seminiferous tubules only. There only the nourishment are given. So who is given the nourishment? That the Sertoli cell give the nourishment for maturation of sperms. Okay, see, that's what given here. They pyramid and provide nourishment to the sperm till maturation. Okay, then they also secrete a hormone, that is Sertoli cell secrete a hormone called inhibit. What is the function of inhibitin? It is nothing but a hormone which is involved in the negative feedback control of sperm production. See, there is a level of sperm production per day. If the sperm production go beyond that, what happen? The hormone inhibits send a feedback to the pituitary gland, and the further production of sperm production will be stopped. So hence the inhibitin involved in the prevention of sperm production or inhibit the sperm production. The name of the hormone called as what? Inhibitin. Okay, so this what set functions of Sertoli cell. You could have asked 2 mark question, write what is Sertoli cells, mention its function. So you could write the answer as what? The wall of the seminiferous tubule has two types of cells. One is Sertoli cells, another one is male germ cell. Sertoli cells are pyramidal in shape and provide nourishment to the developing sperm till maturation. And it also secrete another one function. It also secrete a hormone called inhibitin. The functions of inhibitin is what? That is negative feedback control of sperm production. That's what. And the next one is interstitial cells and spermatogonic cells. So what is the function of next two cells we have discussed in the seminiferous tubules? No, one is what? Sertoli cell. Another one is spermatogonic cell or sperm mother cell. So what is the function of spermatogonic cell? The spermatogonic cell might divide meiotically and differentiate to produce spermatozoa. Okay, that is the function of what? Spermatogonic cells. Spermatogonic cells produce spermatozoa. That's all. And next one is interstitial cells or Leydig cells. What is interstitial cells or Leydig cell? Where does it present? So interstitial cells, otherwise called as Leydig cells, are embedded in the soft connective tissue surrounding the seminiferous tubules. So then these cells are endocrine in nature. And then androgens, namely the testosterone hormone, which initiate the process of spermatogenesis. These cells are endocrine in nature and are characteristic feature of the testis of mammals. Other immunologically competent cells also present in this. Okay, children. Hope you could understand about this. I will stop with this. So today I have discussed with you about introduction of reproductive system and major functions of reproductive system, 2 mark question, and various stages of sexual reproduction, gametogenesis to parturition as 5 mark question, and male reproductive system in part I completed. In that also you can you have 2 questions, children. One is about scrotum, another one is about the cells of seminiferous tubules. Okay, that is Sertoli cells and spermatogonic cell, interstitial cells. 3 cells. About these 3 cells you could write. Next, about the interior structure of testis is further coming in the next upcoming paragraph, that I will discuss with you in my next class. So these are that is what write note on cells present in the seminiferous tubules. And the second question, scrotum is called as thermoregulator, is the statement, discuss why, and the various stages of sexual reproduction. 1 5-mark question, functions of sexual reproduction, reproductive system. 1 2-mark questions. These 4 questions are the homework for you. Complete it, children. Regarding this, if you have any doubt, you can discuss with me. Okay, children? Okay, I'll meet you in my next session. Take care. Bye.